A few weeks ago, we hosted the National Librarian of Nigeria, Professor Lanrie Aina. To put the role of the National Librarian in perspective, think about Nigeria's Accountant General, who is the Chief Accountant of the Federal Government of Nigeria, or the Statistician General, who is the Chief Statistician of the Federal Government of Nigeria. So, the National Librarian is the federal government's Chief Librarian. One of his main roles is to head the National Library. Here's how he described the National Library when we hosted him.
There are many types of libraries all over the world. We have public libraries, which people are familiar with. We have school libraries. We have special libraries. We have research libraries. But the apex library is the National Library. There's only one in every country. You can have 1 million public libraries, 2 million school libraries, but there's only one library called National Library, and it's the apex library of any country. The functions are peculiar. The first function is that it serves as national heritage of a country. Where all publications emanating from a country are collected and preserved. Not only that, all publications about that country anywhere in the world, they are collected and deposited. And also all publications that are written by Nigerians anywhere in the world. It may not be on Nigeria, they may be on a topic, entire topic differently. It will still be collected by National Library.
As long as it's written by Nigerians.
So written by Nigeria, as long as it has Nigerian imprints. That's our major function. Another function is that we are the only organization that tries to standardize books. So we look at books and say, okay, this is a standard book. We now assign a number called International Standard Book Number.
On that same episode, we shared a few tips on the Library of Congress and the British Library, which are the national libraries of the United States of America and Britain, respectively. Here's a question for you to ponder on. Is it a coincidence that the most advanced countries in the world value knowledge, information, education, books, and intellectual institutions? Is it a coincidence that countries that struggle to develop do not place much value on those things? The following might seem like unfair comparisons, considering how young Nigeria is as an independent country, but it might reveal reasons why we need to place priority on building our intellectual institutions.
Let's first take a look at the physical structures. Here's what America's National Library, the Library of Congress, looks like. Here's what the British Library looks like. The headquarters of Nigeria's National Library has been under construction since 2006. The story is that when it was first commissioned that year, the budget for construction was 8.5 billion naira with a plan to finish it in 22 months, but 22 months has turned into 11 years. In the process, the budget for completing it has skyrocketed. In 2009, the contract budget for the building project was reviewed upwards to 17 billion naira. In 2012, the contract sum was reviewed to 23 billion naira. In 2013, the contractor, RCC, reviewed the contract sum upwards to 48 billion naira. In 2014, an ad hoc presidential committee recommended 38.764 billion naira as a new revised cost with 30 months completion period. According to our sources, the current sum required to complete the National Library building today is 50 billion naira, and for the past 3 years, not a block has been added to the building. The National Library currently rents this building, located at the Central Business District in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, and in recent past has struggled to pay its rent. In 2016, the National Library was issued an eviction notice for over 508 million naira debt on rent. Here are a few more interesting things. The British Library was founded in 1753. The Library of Congress was founded in 18,000 AD. The National Library of Nigeria was founded in 1964. The British Library has over 16 million books. The Library of Congress has more than 32 million catalogued books and other print materials in 470 languages and more than 61 million manuscripts. The number of books catalogued in the National Library of Nigeria is unknown. The annual endowment for the Library of Congress is about $613.5 million as at 2010. There is no annual endowment for Nigeria's National Library. The 2017 budget for the library is 3,048,998,141 naira. Knowledge is the cradle of civilization and development. Perhaps it is high time intellectual institutions in Nigeria be given top priority, not just because of what they can potentially contain, but more importantly, because they symbolize how much knowledge is valued by Nigerians.